Hello, I'm Teresa Wiemerslage with the Iowa State University Extension and Outreach Produce Safety Team. In this video, I'm going to help you write a farm food safety plan for your farm. Today, I will talk about how to use the Harmonized GAP template. I'll show you how to customize the template for your farm and give you some ideas to implement a record-keeping system. Before you get started writing a plan, it is highly recommended that you have a basic understanding of good agricultural practices, or GAPs. The FSMA PSA grower training is offered widely and will give you a good understanding of GAPs and the FSMA produce safety rule. The FSMA produce safety rule does not require a GAP food safety plan, but you will need one if you're going to have a third-party GAP audit. A food safety plan gets you organized and focused on food safety. It describes risks that you have identified for your farm and the actions you will take to address those risks. It defines your policies, practices, and SOPs. It also helps you manage your time by prioritizing the most important risk reduction steps. A food safety plan is the best way to be prepared for a third-party audit, for a FSMA inspection, or any questions from your buyers. As you write your food safety plan, keep these things in mind. Only include practices you are doing on your farm. Do not include things you wish you were doing. Your plan does not need to be long or complicated. Pick practices and schedules you know you can do. And finally, focus on risk reduction. I've created a template to help farmers write a farm food safety plan that will prepare them for a harmonized GAP audit. The plan is available online through a SciBox folder where you can download all the files to your computer or a flash drive. When you go to the folder, this is what you'll find. There are several folders with sample logs, signs, and SOPs that you can customize for your farm. Let's look at the documents labeled 1, 2, and 3. Number 1 tells you how to use this manual, which is the document number 2. If you already have a farm food safety plan that you've used for a GAP audit, document 3 will walk you through the pieces that you should add to meet the harmonized requirements. Let's peek in a couple of the folders. When you open the sample logs folder, you'll see a list of files that you can customize for your use. There are also risk assessments for animals, land use, packing house, and water that are required by the audit. Some of the logs have variations like A, B, etc. Worker training is a good example. Farmers are the best innovators I know. Some of the templates here are ones that I've seen used on other farms. Some logs have an RR after them. RR means the file is a required record for the FSMA produce safety rule. So let's talk a little bit more about required records. You can see some of them on the slide. These records are dual purpose. In this case, you can use the same records to satisfy the FSMA produce safety rule and your GAP audit. If you are already using a log for some of these records, check to make sure your log has the mandatory pieces to make it a required record. All records required by the produce safety rule must include the name and location of the farm, an adequate description of covered produce as applicable, like the name of the crop or the lot, the location of the growing area or the handling area, like the field number or the packing shed, and the date and the time of the activity. Records must be created at the time the activity is performed or observed. They need to be accurate, legible, indelible, dated, and signed or initialed by the person who performed the activity. Make your record-keeping system something that will be easy to use. Here are some examples of systems on farms that have passed a GAP audit. I've seen binders, a wall of clipboards, and even a packhouse calendar that can be used for record keeping. Other farms have daily master logs, whiteboards that they photograph, and crop journals. Put the logs where they'll be used, in the bathroom, next to the cooler, in the truck, so they get filled out. Keep a pen handy, tie it on a string so that it doesn't become an excuse. For the bulk of your plan, you will want to keep it in a binder. I do recommend that the plan gets printed so it can be easily referenced. Organize your binder so you can find the policies easily. When it comes time for your audit, time is money. You don't want to be searching for files and making the auditor wait. Here are some suggested binder tabs to keep you organized. Some items in the GAP audit are repeated in the field harvest section and the post-harvest section. You don't need to duplicate records. Use the same ones. Just know your system and make references to it. Let's open the manual template. This manual was designed for Midwest produce farmers interested in a food safety plan that helps them meet the requirements of a third-party GAP audit. I've also created an alternate template for farms that would like to have a food safety plan that meets the FSMA standards but are not necessarily interested in the third-party GAP certification. Contact me for more info on the FSMA only template. The material in this manual is for guidance only. A written plan is a requirement for a third-party audit. Include only practices that you will do and that are relevant to your operation. In certain sections, you'll be prompted to delete sections of text that do not apply to your farm. Use this workbook and template and adapt, change, or create new log sheets to start to document your food safety program, or update what you already have. Some organic records can also serve as food safety records. You do not need to use a computer. You can write your policies and procedures on paper and make log sheets on notepaper. Keep your paperwork organized in a binder or filing system of your choice. This is a living document. Print it, reference it, scribble in it, all throughout the year. The plan should change as your farm changes. The plan should be a resource to you and your farm partners on general farm operations. Now, just a reminder, this document does not ensure compliance with audits or the FSMA produce safety rule. These are just words on paper. They need to be implemented and practiced to create a culture of food safety for your farm. Download the template and open it in Word. As you scroll through the document, you will see places to enter your farm information. Each section starts with a generic policy statement that has been crafted from the language in the FSMA produce safety rule. Generally, the policy statement should not be edited. Best practices are listed on the left side of the table along with the Harmonized GAP section number, for example, HGAP 1.11.10. The right side of the table has space for your farm specifics. Text in red font is sample text and should be removed and replaced with language relevant to your farm. If a best practice does not apply to your farm, don't delete it. Rather indicate that it does not apply. Retaining the language provides flexibility as your farm changes each year. In some places, the wording is generic enough you can probably accept it with little to no editing. For example, the language under management responsibility and the disciplinary policy are pretty universal. There's no red text here to indicate that you need to add farm specifics, but feel free to adjust the wording if you desire. In some cases, you may not have anything more to add to the best practice. In this section, I've used the words "as written" to indicate that we agree with the best practice and it is being used on the farm. Here's an example where the best practice doesn't apply. This farm doesn't do any mechanical harvesting. By addressing the specification in this manner, the text remains in the food safety plan in the event that mechanical harvesting is added to the operation in the future. There are some places in the template where you'll be asked to fill out an inventory or a schedule, like this master cleaning schedule. This is a place where deleting text is suggested. Everything here is only a suggestion. Add and delete the items that only apply to your farm. Other charts and tables are used to organize your thoughts to help you describe your practices to an auditor. This table summarizes the cleaning procedures for different crops. This document can also be used as a resource during worker training. That's it! You are ready to get to work. Farmers report that they can get through the template in a few hours if they can work uninterrupted. Once you get your plan done, there are a few more things to do. You need to set up your record keeping and evaluate your system. Train your workers and family members on your plan and procedures. Come back in a month to note any changes. Make your notes right in the plan. Do the self-audit and score your plan according to the GAP checklist. Ask for help if you need it. Ask your extension specialist to help you with a mock audit to prepare you for your audit. Then you need to call and schedule your audit, usually 1 month ahead of the date that you need it. Audits are crop specific. The auditors need to be able to see the crop being harvested, so plan accordingly. Remember, the first year is definitely the hardest. Every farm says it gets easier after that. This video is part of a series on Harmonized GAP. In the next video, I will talk about some of the new concepts in the Harmonized Standard, including traceability, supplier verification, site security, self-audits, corrective actions, and more.